I'm grateful for the opportunity to make this statement on a matter that is very important to this republic. This is a report on the systemic plunder and abuse of the public financial management system. By the time I'm done with this presentation, it will become clear that something needed to be done to save our economy. Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Finance informed this August House during the media review of the 2025 budget of the ongoing audit of government arrears and commitments as at end 2024 and promised to submit same to this House when the process is completed. The Ghana Audit Service, working in partnership with EY and PwC, undertook an exercise to verify and validate a total of 68.7 billion Ghana cedis submitted to the Ministry of Finance in unpaid interim payment certificates, invoices, and bank transfer advices owed to contractors and suppliers. Out of this, outstanding IPCs and invoices amounted to 50.5 billion Ghana cedis, while outstanding bank transfer advices amounted to 18.3 billion Ghana cedis. Findings. Mr. Speaker, permit me to present some of the troubling findings of the audit. Out of the 68.7 billion Ghana cedis submitted for audit, a total of 45.4 billion Ghana cedis was deemed to be valid for payment. A total of 8.1 billion Ghana cedis was rejected for various reasons, including unsupported documentation, duplication, overstatement, already paid items, falsified stores receipt advice, and no work done. About 1 billion Ghana cedis of the outstanding BTAs, which refers to invoices and IPCs processed by MDAs in 2024, approved by Ministry of Finance, submitted to Controller and Accountant General's Department, and pending payment were rejected. Mr. Speaker, this 1 billion Ghana cedis that was rejected by the audit would have been paid if the Ministry of Finance had not made a bold decision to stop payment in January 2025. About 7.1 billion Ghana cedis of the outstanding IPCs and invoices, which refers to requests by MDAs for payments to suppliers and contractors and certified for payment by various public officers across the approval hierarchies, have also been rejected. They were rejected for various reasons, including absence of supporting documents, duplications, recycled invoices and IPCs, overstatements, and no work done. Again, an amount of 13.3 billion Ghana cedis is yet to be validated for various reasons, including lack of third-party confirmation, inadequate documentation, and no supporting contracts. Mr. Speaker, fictitious debt of 89.4 million Ghana cedis. The then Ministry of Trade and Industry in 2024 submitted a request of 89.4 million Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Finance to be transferred to 5 commercial banks as government's contribution to interest payments under the One District, One Factory initiative. The Ministry of Finance subsequently processed same to the Controller and Accountant General's Department for payment. But Mr. Speaker, this particular request was part of BTAs sitting at the Controller and Accountant General's Department awaiting cash for payment. When auditors contacted these 5 banks to confirm the liability, every single one of them denied being owed any amount by government under the said arrangement. According to the auditors, the said 89.4 million Ghana cedis debt was fictitious. Without the audit intervention, a whopping 89.4 million Ghana cedis of hard-earned public money could have been disbursed to settle this non-existent liability. Mr. Speaker, only God knows how much of taxpayers' money has been lost to similar fictitious claims. Right Honorable Speaker, payment of 10.5 million Ghana cedis was recorded as having been made into an account named the buffer account at a commercial bank. Upon verification, the bank confirmed that it had never received such payment. The account number cited did not exist within the bank's records and did not even conform to its account numbering format. The evidence from the audit pointed to a completely fictitious account. Mr. Speaker, as a result of these fictitious accounts linked to the one district, one factory payments, the entire 1D, 1F scheme requires a forensic audit which will be carried out soon. More so when government is said to have spent 391 million Ghana cedis as its contribution towards 1D, 1F interest subsidies as at the end of 2024. The dry spell expenditure. Mr. Speaker, in 2024, the government of Ghana paid for 34,000 metric tons of rice to address the impact of the dry spell. However, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture received and distributed 24,000 metric tons of rice. To date, 10,000 metric tons of rice remains unaccounted for, even though the entire quantity has been fully paid for. The audit revealed that the government of Ghana also contracted a company to supply 100,000 metric tons of maize. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture submitted stores receipt advice as evidence of delivery of the 100,000 metric tons of maize worth 771.2 million Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Finance for payment. But only 11,900 metric tons was supplied and distributed. Mr. Speaker, it is worth noting that the store's receipt advice was supported by a checklist that was certified by the internal auditor of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Overpayment for transportation of grains. Mr. Speaker, under the Farmer Food Relief and Recovery Program, a transportation company was contracted to transport 134,000 metric tons of maize and rice to farmers across the country at a contract sum of 115.2 million Ghana cedis. Even though the company transported only 35,000 out of the 134,000 metric tons, which should have costed 30.9 million Ghana cedis, the company was paid in cash 50 million Ghana cedis. In addition to this payment, the company was given 7,311 metric tons of rice, equivalent to 14,622 bags of 50 kg rice, which amounts to 11.7 million Ghana cedis in lieu of cash for no work done. This brings total payment to 61.7 million cedis to the transportation company. As a result, the Auditor-General accordingly rejected an amount of 65.2 million Ghana cedis that was requested by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture as additional payment to the said transport company. The unfounded teacher trainee arrears. The Ministry of Education reported unpaid allowances totaling 160 million Ghana cedis to teacher trainees under the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. When auditors engaged GTEC, the agency confirmed that as of December 2024, there were no outstanding arrears. Over 159 million Ghana cedis would have been lost but for this audit. Mr. Speaker, an amount of 6.1 million Ghana cedis appeared on the Ministry of Education's BTA schedule at the Controller and Accountant General's Department, even though the same funds had already been paid by a donor partner. Such entries opened a door for double payments and exposed a dangerous pattern of weak oversight and porous coordination between donor and government financial records. Mr. Speaker, auditors identified BTAs totaling 293 million Ghana cedis for 6 MDAs with no documentation. There were no contracts, no IPCs, and no record of any executed work. Mr. Speaker, the breakdown of the unsupported BTAs are as follows. Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, 241.2 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Roads and Highways, 26.3 million Ghana cedis. Judicial Service, 18.2 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Special Initiatives, 3.7 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Health, 2.4 million Ghana cedis. And the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, 782,262 Ghana cedis. Falsified stores receipt advices intended for misappropriation of public funds. Mr. Speaker, auditors uncovered transactions worth 9.4 million Ghana cedis supported by forged stores receipt advices, SRAs, that had been used to justify requests for payment for goods that were never delivered. Ministry of Defense, 4.8 million. A contract between the Ministry of Defense and a company for vehicles intended for border surveillance and monitoring of the 2024 general election revealed that despite the issuance of stores receipt advice, which is an official document confirming that goods have been received, dated 12 October 2024, the vehicles were never delivered. Similarly, the Judicial Service appeared to be caught in a web of falsified stores receipt advice. While an SRA dated 25th October 2024 claimed the receipt of 7 Toyota saloon cars, as soon as the audit was initiated, the supplier wrote to the Judicial Service on 10th April 2025, indicating their inability to supply the said vehicles as scheduled. This shows that fraudulent documents were submitted to the Ministry of Finance for payments, and steps have been taken to avoid the recurrence of these incidents. Mr. Speaker, these cases illustrate a disturbing pattern of fraud designed to deprive the people of Ghana hundreds of millions of cedis of public funds. Recycling of already paid IPCs and invoices. Mr. Speaker, claims amounting to 4.4 billion Ghana cedis, which had already been paid between 2020 and 2024, were fraudulently resubmitted for payment. These recycled claims originated from the following MDAs. Ministry of Roads and Highways, 3.6 billion Ghana cedis. Ministry of Health, 384.8 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Energy, 216.7 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Food and Agriculture, 57 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Defense, 40.9 million Ghana cedis. Independent power producers, 36.4 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Finance, 26.4 million Ghana cedis. And Ministry of Interior, 3.1 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, but for our vigilance, the Ghanaian taxpayer would have lost a colossal 4.4 billion Ghana cedis in these recycled claims. Right, Honorable Speaker, one eye-opening finding of this audit was that MDAs did not have sufficient records of what they had contracted, what they had paid, and what was outstanding. Shockingly, Government of Ghana was at the mercy of contractors and suppliers to determine how much is owed to them. Mr. Speaker, this calls for an urgent review, redesign, and implementation of an appropriate PFM architecture to manage our public funds. Mr. Speaker, Auditors identified duplicated and overstated claims by MDAs totaling 1.4 billion Ghana cedis. These MDAs include the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, an amount of 408.3 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Energy, 386.7 million Ghana cedis. The National Service Scheme, 334.5 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Roads and Highways, 125.65 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Health, 114.2 million Ghana cedis. And the NCCE, 8.8 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Defense reported 77.1 million Ghana cedis as outstanding claims for which IPCs and invoices were issued, although the contract had expired and deliveries were not made. Mr. Speaker, according to the auditors, confirmation responses received indicated an overstatement in claims by 161.9 million Ghana cedis. These emanated from Department of Urban Roads, 57 million Ghana cedis, Ministry of Transport, 39.9 million Ghana cedis, Department of Feeder Roads, 22.46 million Ghana cedis, Ministry of Food and Agriculture, 20 million Ghana cedis, Ghana Highways Authority, 17.5 million Ghana cedis, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 2.68 million Ghana cedis. Agenda 111. Mr. Speaker, the audit of Agenda 111 projects also revealed that a total amount of $7.9 million United States dollars was paid to 35 contractors as advance mobilization under the program. But these contractors have either failed to mobilize to site or the work done is not commensurate with the amount paid. The advance mobilization guarantees secured by the 35 contractors who received the $7.9 million US dollars have all expired. The Auditor-General has subsequently issued notices of surcharge to the offending contractors. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, this audit has exposed a rotten system designed to fleece the people of Ghana. It reveals not just lapses in our public financial management architecture, but a pervasive and systemic plunder of the public purse. A culture marked by the fabrication of fictitious claims, the resubmission of recycled invoices, the forgery of stores receipt advice, and the treatment of public funds as personal entitlement rather than as public trust. The President Mahama administration refuses to accept this rotten system. In fact, we refuse to normalize waste, and we refuse to ask the Ghanaian people to pay for fraud. Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Finance has formally referred the report of the Auditor-General to the Attorney General to bring to account those responsible for this rape of the public purse. Those who abused their offices, colluded with contractors, falsified records, or attempted to loot the public purse through the back door will be held to account. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Finance will no longer serve as a rubber stamp for weak controls and falsified claims. Going forward, no payment will be made without full verification, no commitment will be entered into without budgetary allocation, and no officer, regardless of rank, will be shielded from accountability. This moment marks a decisive break from the past, a reset of public financial management, a declaration that discipline has returned to the center of fiscal and economic governance. Mr. Speaker, the Ghanaian people demand accountability, and under His Excellency President Mahama's government, that demand will be met with action. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I seek your leave to lay the report of the Auditor-General. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Minister for Finance. Our members, I will open the floor for comment, subject to Order 91, 3, and 4. Yes, Honorable Patrick Yaboma, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker.
Speaker, yes. Your comments. Speaker, just to, by way of a guide, we want to pray that we take 3-3 on its side. Oh, please. Why? I am making a proposal. So, please, listen to me. If you have a counter proposal, you
Minority
say so.
leadership, the proposal is to take 3-3 comments.
Can do. Mr. Speaker, with respect, normally we would have to agree instead of communicating directly to the chair. I don't think that is what the majority side did. That notwithstanding, I would want to suggest that we take 5 plus leadership, making 6. Because, Mr. Speaker, this is an important matter that has just come. We would be happy to talk about it, especially when the Deputy Minister talks about rot in governance. I'm sure he would soon see that things are more rotten under the very administration he serves than what he complains of. So, Mr. Speaker, it's good he's brought it on. Let's take it to the cleaners. It's good he's brought it on. We're ready for them.
Leadership? 6. Very well. So by Order 91-4, the comment must not exceed 5 minutes. The timekeepers are up there. The floor is now open. Honorable Patrick Yaboma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To make some few comments on the statement by the Deputy Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, this statement to Parliament is on the report of the Auditor-General on arrears and payables at the end of 2024, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Article 187 of the Constitution of this country establishes the Office of the Auditor-General of Ghana and empowers the Auditor-General of Ghana to look into the books of all MMDAs and institutions of this country, Mr. Speaker. It also gives persons affected by the report of the Auditor-General the opportunity to explain certain things before a formal report of the Auditor-General is laid before the House within 6 months after each financial year. Mr. Speaker, we don't know the basis of this report. Has the Auditor-General given those implicated or mentioned in this report, or those officers or the institutions mentioned thereunder, the opportunity to respond and take advantage of the provisions under Article 1879, which says that a person aggrieved by a disallowance or a surcharge made by the Auditor-General may appeal to the High Court. Mr. Speaker, I believe the Minister of Finance has rushed into presenting this statement. There are various officers or institutions of state who had to be invited to answer questions. Mr. Speaker, the NDC administration has been in power for just under a year or a year and a half. They have all the powers of state to invite anyone who has committed any offense to be investigated and brought before any court of competent jurisdiction. Mr. Speaker, we rush to this House, make this statement, implicate people, and later go back and find out that they haven't committed any offense. Mr. Speaker, let's be careful with the way we handle public officers. There's been so many occasions that reports have been submitted to us, referrals are made to the Public Accounts Committee, you go there and the records are sent to them and it shows that they've committed no offense. Mr. Speaker, let's be very careful. Honorable Deputy Minister of Finance, I'm sure you are in a rush to satisfy or settle some scores. This is not the forum for this statement. This is not a forum. This is not an appropriate statement referred to us as a house, as enshrined in the Constitution of this country by the Auditor-General. You are putting the cart before the horse, and be very careful about this tangent that you are trying to. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kwame Aguja.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to make few comments about this very important statement. Mr. Speaker, this is the right forum to talk about this. Mr. Speaker, I will explain to you. And when I finish explaining, colleagues would understand why this is the best forum. Mr. Speaker, the statement talks about contracts. Mr. Speaker, some of the largest contracts in this country are approved by this House. Mr. Speaker, this House approves even contracts, road contracts, where we write into the contract that we will buy even mobile phone that the contractor will use on the project. We borrow money to buy mobile phones for the contractor on the project. Yes, you say, hey, that is what you have approved. We even pay for the use of the mobile phone approved by this House. Tell me this is not the best forum. This House approves contracts and say we should pay a contractor $29 million as mobilization. And if that contractor fails, if we fail to do certain things, the contractor can walk away free with our $29 million. Tell me this is not the right forum. Let's look at each other. I don't know your constituency, but in my constituency, there will be a pregnant woman today who may be struggling to find a health facility to attend. I have constituents today who are looking for potable water to drink. And if you and I, members of parliament, write a contract and give away $29 million to a contractor and say that when the contractor raises a net certificate, we are not able to pay, the contractor can walk away with $29 million. Tell me this is not the right forum to be talking about it. What has this got to do with the Auditor-General? It is members of parliament who should do our work diligently. How do you feel buying a mobile phone for a contractor? Mr. Speaker, I believe these issues are very serious. Mr. Speaker, during the validation process by the Ministry of Finance, Mr. Speaker, it is quite obvious. In fact, I have at the ministry currently about 500 million claims that when the contractors were asked, show me your contract, the contractors didn't come back. But these contracts were formed at the ministry, at the agencies. Tell me this is not the right forum so that we who represent the people will do things right. It is not about NDC or NPP. But these monies are being wasted in our names. Mr. Speaker, it is not about anybody there or me. But this is the waste that is in the system. Mr. Speaker, when every day, including tomorrow afternoon, I will be asked, when will you be paying the contractor who has stopped work in my constituency? And tomorrow, I will be answering those questions. Minority leader, bear with me. Tomorrow afternoon, I will be asked questions by colleagues. Why is the contractor on my road not working? And I tell you that this same house have approved $29 million to be spent on a project, Walawale, how do you call it? Savelugu to Walawale, and the contractor work free. Tell me this is not important. Mr. Speaker, it is very important. And I am urging the House. Mr. Speaker, yes, I'm a minister. I can guarantee, yes, I'm a minister. Look, let me tell you. Mr. Speaker, it is important for Parliament for us to take our work diligently. Because I know there may be contracts in committees and other things. Let us do diligent work so that going forward, we avoid these things. Mr. Speaker, we have situations where last week I said we were so reckless in contracting and commitment that almost, Mr. Speaker, 90% of road contracts that were awarded in 2024 did not have any commitment authorization. And that day I said that, including the former finance minister's own constituency, he didn't even issue commitment authorization for road work in his own constituency. That is reckless. That is reckless. So members of parliament, hello, the buck stops with us. We must do our work diligently. So if you say this is not the right forum, this is 100% forum to bring this issue. And I want you to help government make sure that we tighten these things. It doesn't matter whether it's NDC or NPP that is this government. These roads were not necessarily sanctioned by politicians, but that is the system we inherited. We are only calling for a reset of the system, and President Mahama is saying that I will reset the system, and I call upon you to support that system. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Kabiru, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would want us to put to bear and to put as a matter of fact that whenever the minister responsible for road is called to contribute to the statement, he finds ways and means of sneaking tangential matters into the discussion. And I want the House to record and to put safe into our hands that the Wale road was a contract awarded in line with the procurement acts of the country. Mobilization was given to that contractor, and if there's anything wrong, these people have 11 months. They have 1 year. They should go and recover their money. They shouldn't be coming to this house and complain the same thing. Nothing was done untoward in that project, and they know that, they are doing it because of project. Mr. Speaker, let me now come to the statement. In the year 2017, the then government handed over to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. An audit of the arrears was done. Mr. Speaker, 13 billion was audited as arrears and claims on the government of Ghana. Then, the current Minister of Finance, he was a deputy minister at the Ministry of Finance. Out of the 13 billion that was audited, 5.5 was those certified. About 5.7 were rejected. That constituted 50% of rejected claims. Mr. Speaker, today, the same apostles are coming to tell us that 11% of amount has been rejected, and it is news. Only 11%. 68 billion, only 11% of that has been rejected, and that is news. Mr. Speaker, 50% of what they presented to the next government was rejected, and the Minister for Finance presented that before the records of this House. And today, they are the apostles of good governance and resetting. Mr. Speaker, as a matter of fact, no one is condoning and supporting any contractor, any agency using the resources of the country for personal gain. We in this particular side of the aisle will never support that. But when you present that and package that in the form of propaganda to make a government look bad, we will point it to you that you are being political, you are being, untruth to the issue. You are being disingenuous. Mr. Speaker, let me come to that finding. In that particular report, 2017, they stated, Audit report shows that inflated contract was one of the problems. The same thing has been found in this project, in this report. Second thing, there were non-essential contracts. In fact, there were lack of proper documentation in that report. The same thing has been presented today. So when you are presenting it and people are making it look as if this government or the previous government had done something untoward, Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, they are not being true to the fact because in their tenure, under the minister responsible for finance, he was a deputy minister. He superintended over 50% of the claims being fictitious. Why do you come to us as apostles of good governance and as apostles of resetting agenda to make you look good? Mr. Speaker, you should scrap the hypocrisy in this House. Let us face the issue of governance with seriousness. When we do that, I'm sure governance will be good. Mr. Speaker, let me then come to the issue of the road sector. Under the road sector, they presented a bill of 11.2 billion in 2017. Go to the facts. 11.2 billion. Half of that, more than half of that were fictitious. You come back today and you tell us that there was no good government. Mr. Speaker, let these people bow their heads in shame and let us approach the issue with the seriousness it deserves. No one will ever deceive anyone from this side about facts and records on this side. Mr. Speaker, let me again conclude on a very important point. Mr. Speaker, there is lack of proper record system in the country, and everyone takes opportunity of that to do as they wish. Once there is no proper record system and you go to the minister and you don't have records, you don't blame the contractor. As a matter of fact, there's poor record system at the Ministry of Roads, there's poor record system at the Ministry of Finance, there's poor record system across every agency in the country. The fact that you do not see the document doesn't mean that work has not been done. We need to fix that and fix that well. Mr. Speaker, the other issue was state agencies are involved. Mr. Speaker, all those accusations are in relation with state agencies. No individual has been mentioned. They refer to GTEC, they refer to ABCD. It tells you one story, that the state agency will have to be strengthened in order to do their work in a manner that are appropriate, in a manner that is right. Mr. Speaker, finally, the minister comes to blame people, condemn people without even hearing from them. What stopped them from inviting people in those agencies to listen to them before they even come? You don't condemn a man before you hear him. It is in line with basic principle of natural justice. Listen to the man. Let me give you a view before you can condemn. Mr. Speaker, with these viewers, I thank you for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Yes. Let me take Honorable Kwachi Ofosu.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to comment on this statement. Mr. Speaker, the defensive posture adopted by our colleagues on the other side is telltale, because a reading of the presentation made by the Deputy Minister responsible for Finance shows clearly that there was a systematic effort to loot the resources of this country. Because we are not talking about minor clerical errors or minor computational errors in ascertaining how much the state owed to contractors and service providers. We are talking about carefully crafted schemes to fleece the people of Ghana. And I am astonished that there are people on the other side who are even opposed to an exercise to bring this to light. They are saying that this very house that approved and gave authority to the finance minister to engage in this spending should not have oversight when it comes to finding out how those resources were used. Mr. Speaker, this is a special audit commissioned by the finance minister, who during his very first budget presentation to this house said that this audit will be conducted. He has finished the audit and brought the report to this house for consideration, so that at the very least we may authorize steps to be taken to ensure that they do not recur. And yet people who superintended the affairs of this country for 8 years are opposed to this exercise. It is bad enough that this wanton rape and looting of state resources occurred under them, but it is even more shocking that they appear to want to stand in the way of government as we take steps to correct this. Mr. Speaker, I have just heard my colleague Dr. Kabiru lament the fact that they came to meet similar occurrences in 2017. Mr. Speaker, he has only confirmed that for all 8 years they wasted their time and did nothing to correct problems that they inherited. We are not terribly afflicted by the same bag of lethargy. Mr. Speaker, we intend to correct and reset this country. So every problem that we meet, we will resolve. And one of them is sealing the loopholes that allow for the brazen theft that is superintended in the 8 years they were in power. Mr. Speaker, how is it possible for a whole government to preside over a situation where they claim to have paid 10.5 million Ghana cedis to a specific account in a specific bank in this country, and yet auditors go to the bank says, first of all, no such payment has been made, and that no such account even exists here. This is brazen theft of public resources, and the records of the Republic of Ghana show that this payment has been made. How can anybody be opposed to an effort to correct this? Mr. Speaker, how do you award a contract and pay the contractor fully when he has not done work? In which jurisdiction is this acceptable? And how can members of parliament who have been elected by their constituents come to this house and oppose efforts to correct this? Mr. Speaker, they had 8 years to deal with anything that they found to be problematic when they came to power. When they were in power, they hauled several members of the past administration to court over alleged wrongdoing. Nothing stopped them from dealing with this systematic rape of our resources. But President Mahama and the finance minister are determined to ensure that not a dime goes to the wrong hands. If you read the statement that the deputy minister presented carefully, he indicated steps that are being taken to ensure that this does not recur. He has also said, more importantly, that all those responsible for this brazen theft of our resources will be held to account. I hear them say that, oh, if they've done wrong, hold them to account. Mr. Speaker, this is a jurisdiction where the rule of law applies. You must do it systematically. So the first step has taken place, which enables us to know what has happened. After that, firm action will be taken against those who are complicit in this crime against the state. Mr. Speaker, it also raises questions about our oversight. It simply means that we have to do more as a house to ensure that the public purse is protected. We just do not need to give budgetary allocations to ministries, departments, and agencies. We must defend and protect the public purse from the sort of rape that the Deputy Minister has highlighted. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes, Honorable Dominic Nitiwood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to comment briefly on the statement made by the Deputy Minister for Finance. Mr. Speaker, it's very clear what is going on. In fact, the government is under pressure about the cocoa issues. Mr. Speaker, this is the third time. This is the third time that the Minister for Finance is trying to smuggle an item into Parliament to distract the public attention. Nothing, let me repeat, nothing will distract our attention from the suffering of the cocoa farmers and from the suffering of Ghanaian farmers. Nothing. Not even these concocted stories. Not even these concocted stories will distract our attention. Mr. Speaker, the first budget of the Minister for Finance, he mentioned this, it was debunked. He came back mid-year, mentioned it, it was debunked. Today, you smuggled this. In fact, you did not even inform our leadership you are going to make this statement. You smuggled this because you are under pressure. Nothing will stop us. Mr. Speaker, let me state one thing. Let me state, you have been in government for 15 months. The Auditor-General of Ghana has presented his report for 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and even 2025. He's presenting it in June. Mr. Speaker, if the Auditor-General so believes that these infractions happened, to have found his way in his report, not you. This is fictitious. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, this is a special report. It has nothing to do with the Auditor-General report. Show me. Mr. Speaker, let me give you an example. On page 10 of the report, it says Minister of Defense. I was a Minister of Defense. We have not, and we never signed any contract. We never signed any contract to buy vehicles for the purpose of elections 2024. Not from the Minister of Defense. We made a request for vehicles. All the contracts of the various agencies, the nature of it, were all done at one ministry, Minister of National Security. We, our defense, never did it. So you see that. And two, and I'm saying that too, but you are not telling the people of Ghana the truth. Two, you said there is a contract between the Minister of Defense and the company. No name, nothing. Two, we never. Two, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, two. Mr. Speaker, and you said for intended border surveillance and monitoring of 2024. Two, Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Defense does not pay on receipts. No. If you have a Minister for Defense, you realize that we don't pay on receipts. We pay when the Ghana Armed Forces set up a board The board will review all the documents, will do inspection, will make sure that physically the item that you have requested and contracted for has arrived, and the board members are almost 10 of them, before they will advise you, the minister, to pay. We don't pay by receipts. Ghana Armed Forces, through the Minister of Defense, does not pay by receipts. So there is no way that the Ghana Armed Forces or the Minister for Defense will pay 4.4 million cedis because of receipts. We don't do that. If there is no board of acceptance report, we don't pay. That's the first thing I want you to know. Mr. Speaker, on page 10, they go and say that some recycled invoices. Mr. Speaker, we have since not been paying by invoices. We pay through gift mix. We don't pay by invoices. He knows that the government of Ghana since 2020, we don't pay by invoices. We pay by gift mix. If you have supplied something, you put it on gift mix, and that gift mix payment, once you have, Mr. Speaker, once you have already put something on gift mix, it will not accept it again. Once you have put it on gift mix, it will not accept it again. So you don't come and do some propaganda piece of audit and come and spring it on MPs because you are hot. Answer the cocoa business.
Yes, Honorable Soini.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to this very disturbing and shocking statement that has been presented ably by the Honorable Deputy Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, first of all, this statement is properly situated under Standing Order 91, where the Speaker, where it is quoted, where I quote, that the Speaker may make a statement on any matter of interest to the House. A Minister of State may make a statement of government policy, and the statement shall be limited to facts which are necessary to be made known to the House. So, Mr. Speaker, I see no reason why reference is made to the process as outlined in the Constitution with regard to how Auditor-General report is presented. That is not contested. That is not in question at all. The fact is that the minister is making a statement and sharing facts that this House needs to know. Mr. Speaker, what is disturbing, especially listening to contributions, is that it seems to me that once again, as members of the political class, we are missing the plot. We are missing the point, and we are claiming this as our problem, which we will turn into a political football. Mr. Speaker, I expected that we're all going to be shocked and scandalized and speak in support of government's action to fix and rectify these problems. Because the minister in his statement did not even accuse any politician, past or present. He simply spoke to facts as contained in the Auditor-General's report. And let us not delude ourselves. Every government in this country has either been toppled through a coup or through the ballot box as a result of corruption. Every time the people feel that their leadership or their leaders are corrupt, they choose a means of getting them out of power. In the Fourth Republic, we have been lucky, and we have been doing so through the ballot box. It does not mean that if we continue to ignore these challenges, we will always have the opportunity to be replaced through the ballot box. May God forbid, let us not ever get to a point where the decision will be taken for us to go decades backwards to get our leaders replaced through the barrel of the gun. Mr. Speaker, it should be shocking and scandalous to anybody to hear, for example, Mr. Speaker, that there was an attempt for payments to be made, for example, on page 5, the Deputy Minister makes the report to us that there were fictitious debts of 89.4 million. And how did it happen? That the then Ministry of Trade and Industry in 2024 submitted a request of 89.4 million to the Ministry of Finance to be transferred to 5 commercial banks as government contribution to interest payments under One District, One Factory initiative. Mr. Speaker, and he says that when auditors contacted these 5 banks to confirm the liability, every single one of them denied being owed any amount by government under the said arrangement. Mr. Speaker, how is it any of our colleagues on the other side's problem? How is it your problem for you to want to defend this? So, Mr. Speaker, let us be very careful. Let us all come together as members of Parliament who are concerned about the loot that has been going on sometimes in our name as political class, as members of the political class, and ensure that we support the action that the minister and this government is taking to seal these loopholes and to hold the people responsible, and so that we can give assurance to our people that at least this generation of leaders are different and are committed to preserving the public funds. Mr. Speaker, these are not just figures. When you hear 89 million, when you hear 293 million, these are not just figures. These are missed jobs. These are missed roads. These are hospitals that are not built. And this leads to loss of lives. This creates more unemployment for our youth. So let us not just look at these figures and think that we can reduce them to political, ping-pong games. Let us support the finance minister and this government to ensure that the people who have...
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am saddened by the kind of comments that are coming from my colleagues on the other side. Mr. Speaker, this issue, this problem, has been with this country for years. Please, 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 please. Allow me to speak. When it's your turn, you can also speak. It has been with this country for years. We are unable to resolve this matter because of the way we have always turned the matter to be partisan and accusing ourselves as politicians each and every day. Mr. Speaker, those who have been committing this atrocity and these infractions are the technocrats. They are sitting there, you know them. They are still there approving. They are still in the ministries and the agencies. They are still approving for payment. Their names are there. You know them. No politician, no minister sitting here signs a check. Which minister sits here signs a check at the ministry? It is done by the technocrats. Who does the authorization for those payments? They are there. It is the technocrats. But we come here and create the impression that, all politicians here are criminals. We are corrupt. Just to score political point. And when we go out, we step out. And the people are chasing us. And now, we don't know what to do. Mr. Speaker, this is a very dangerous thing that we are doing as the political class. I am all for it. That we need to put measures in place. This is a systemic problem. It's a systemic problem. We go and put gift mix in the place. What was the import of having that system in the place? Is to check, to ensure that every payment that we make in this country go through a system. Who is in charge of approving those gift mix? Who is in charge? Even in your district. Sometimes when you don't put certain projects in the gift mix, you have some officers who will tell you that, come, I'll be able to review it and correct it for you. And they go behind the scene. They put certain things in it. And it turns back, we come here and we come and blame ourselves. I will support every measures that this government want to put in place to correct it. But when we are correcting it, Mr. Speaker, let us make sure that those people who have been committing these infractions or these criminally minded activities, who are brought to book, they are there, we know them. They are the ministries, they are the agencies, they are the technocrats, they are the public staff, they are there. You work with them, you see them all the time. They come to you, they come and confuse you, subdue you, for you to give them the blank check, and they go and they work. Please, I think it is time for us as a house to come together and stop the politicization of this matter. And if we are committed, and not for any political reason, but we are committed as a people in resolving this matter, let us come together and resolve this matter once and for all. About 8 years ago or 9 years ago, a government came, conducted the same audit, and found those infractions. Today, another government has come. He has also conducted the same infraction. I'm sure when this government also leaves office and another government comes, he also conduct another audit and the same infractions. Will come here and they will be enjoying, the technocrats, they will be sitting back and enjoying the goodies that they are making out of the kind of politics that we are doing. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I want to call the House for us together, come together and depoliticize this matter and make sure that we are able to resolve this matter once and for all. Thank
you. Yes, Honorable Deputy Minister for Energy and Green Transition.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement made by the Deputy Finance Minister. Mr. Speaker, I must say I'm very saddened with the report, especially seeing the whopping sum of money that is deliberately dissipated, or there's an attempt per the report to be mismanaged. Mr. Speaker, I think, with the sum that we are seeing here, as a House, just as our colleagues are all recommending, should not be politicized. These numbers we are seeing here, today it may be huge, more than what we have always seen in the past. But I think it is time that as a committee, as a House, we look at how best we'll be able to nip this in the bud. Mr. Speaker, I heard one of my colleagues making a claim that this report is being brought just to take the attention of cocoa prices or whatever. But I think this goes beyond that. The figures we are seeing here, as a House, we should all be concerned. How are we going to deal with it? My colleague just mentioned that technocrats. But as politicians, at the end of the day, the sums that are seen here, the technocrats' name will not be mentioned. That is why the report has been brought to this House for us to deliberate. It should just go beyond the deliberation. If we have to take the necessary legal actions, we recommend that we do that. So that every politician, even if you are not the one who signs, we also approve. Whatever we have to do together to make sure that we don't see these figures again, because we have our students here. When the students see 8 billion as an amount that was supposed to have been paid, but through audit, it has been rejected. This 8 billion has a lot that can be done for almost all the secondary schools in Ghana. If we have 800 secondary schools, it means that each secondary school will get no less than 10 billion cedis. Mr. Speaker, 8 billion will be able to fix all the roads in the central region. My able senior, honorable Afenyawakin's roads are well done. So maybe when he sees this 8 billion, he will not be concerned. But because my roads are not done, I'm so concerned about this 8 billion that has not been accounted for. So I am only calling on the House that it shouldn't just be a report that has been brought to us for us to deliberate. We should all see how best we can come together and work with the Attorney-General or the respective committee to ensure that all the perpetrators or people who are aligned with this, the law takes its course on them. So I want to thank the finance minister and his deputy for the good work they are doing, especially saving the nation of this whopping 13 billion, which I believe that once they have saved it, going forward, it can be used to cushion the cocoa farmers that they are saying that their prices have been reduced. So this money is so much a funds that can help to support the cocoa farmers. So if we really care about the cocoa farmers, let's see how best we can save these sums to support them in the future. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, when we first came to this house, one of the first advice or initial advice that we were given was that we should be careful what we say as politicians, because that has become the basis for the nation to develop mistrust for politicians. It appears that that advice, Mr. Speaker, was not taken by the same persons who were given that advice. Mr. Speaker, I can appreciate why our colleagues on the other side of the aisle keeps making reference to report, as though what the minister read on the floor of this house was the report. Mr. Speaker, because they are confusing the report with the statement. Mr. Speaker, what is up for debate is not the report, but a statement. A statement by the minister containing extracts, supposedly extracts. Mr. Speaker,
member, I do not call for debate on anything.
Mr. Speaker, comments containing extracts, Mr. Speaker, and not the report itself. Mr. Speaker, very respectfully, the audit report will contain, Mr. Speaker, the management responses. The audit report, Mr. Speaker, will contain responses by persons who were the subject of this audit. Mr. Speaker, the statement does not. And so what we have, Mr. Speaker, we don't even know whether it is coming from the report. Mr. Speaker, there are no references as to which page of the report it is referring to. Mr. Speaker, it does not contain responses by the persons under reference or the institutions that are subject of this audit. Yet, Mr. Speaker, it is being debated as though it is the report itself. Mr. Speaker, it is being debated as though it is the gospel. But, Mr. Speaker, it is not. This is the reason why Ghanaians will sit out of this parliament and think that, Mr. Speaker, we cannot be trusted. Mr. Speaker, because this is a propaganda piece. It is nothing but propaganda. Mr. Speaker, for instance, the Ministry of Trade. Mr. Speaker, it is a matter of record that no payment was made because no disbursement was made by the bank. Mr. Speaker, there will be no disbursement by the ministry because, Mr. Speaker, until payment is made, interest payment is not required. Mr. Speaker, but because of propaganda value, this is being presented to the House as though something has happened. Mr. Speaker, the essence of Article 187 of the Constitution should not be lost on us. Mr. Speaker, because of our oversight responsibilities, it is incumbent upon us to ensure that systems are improved to prevent losses to the state. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, historical audit reports, Mr. Speaker, will be deductive in this journey. Historical audit report teaches us, Mr. Speaker, that it is not in all circumstances that losses are incurred to the state. However, there is the potential for a loss. And so we as a House should be fashioning out ways to manage the systems in place to prevent a loss. Mr. Speaker, the essence of audit reports, Mr. Speaker, is not for propaganda. Mr. Speaker, if you do propaganda, you will be exposed. We thought that you were going to learn from the Attorney-General. Today, you have been embarrassed by the Attorney-General, your so-called oral, because it is of no value. The evidence is said to contain garbage. You have done the same propaganda for 15 months. Today, you have been exposed by electricity charges. Electricity tariffs are exposing you that you are not doing nothing in government for the last 15 months.
You've been exposed by water tariffs. That for the last 15 months you are not doing anything in government. Mr. Speaker, business owners are suffering. They cannot pay electricity tariffs. Mr. Speaker, cocoa farmers are suffering because you are struggling to manage the cocoa sector. Mr. Speaker, this is nothing other than propaganda. Mr. Speaker, your government so far is government by propaganda, of propaganda, with propaganda, and full of garbage. Mr. Speaker, thanks for the opportunity.
Honorable Azika Dongo, is now your turn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm very, very sad. And, Mr. Speaker, I want my colleagues to take a cue from some of the comments that Honorable Suhini made, and some of the comments that my colleague on the other side made. What we are doing is that we are shielding criminals in this chamber. Nobody is saying that a politician has stifled money. You have left office. Ernst & Young, Pricewaterhouse, and the Ghana Audit Service now goes to review transactions that are supposedly made in your name. And the auditor is saying that he could not validate those transactions because in some instances, the people that they claim you owe them said that you don't owe them. It is rather vindicating you. You should be happy. Mr. Speaker, this should tell us that we have to proceed beyond this. And Mr. Speaker, I would like to make an appeal to you under Order 262, that this should require further work by this House, and that you should set up an ad hoc committee to look into this matter and report back to this House. Mr. Speaker, I want to refer to the Minister for Defense. The Minister for Defense, the report says that in the gift-me system that he is saying we should use, it has been logged in the gift-me system that he signed a contract. It has been logged in the gift-me system that they issued a goods received note saying that they received vehicles. And on the basis of that, they have made a request on the Minister for Finance to pay. When the minister audited them, they realized that those things don't exist. So rather than being happy that they found out the people who were going to cheat in your name, you are here defending that you didn't sign anything. Exactly that is what the report is saying. The report is saying there was no such agreement. So if you say there's no agreement, that is what the report is saying. You say you didn't buy vehicles, but somebody left in the gift-me system that you are taking delivery of 6 vehicles. And the report is saying you did not take delivery of 6 vehicles. And the Minister for Finance is saying that they should pay because you did that. And the minister found out you didn't do that. Why should you be the one fighting this report? Mr. Speaker, I am really worried. And let me come back to one of the comments that my own colleague, Honorable Patrick Boama made. Honorable Patrick Boama said that the people who are part of this and have been accused have not been given a hearing. Unless you don't understand an audit. In any audit, by the time you complete the audit, there are a series of meetings that you need to answer. Then even when you are not able to answer, before they exit, there will be a final conference where they will say, having gone through the audit, I have asked you to provide evidence of ABC. I came back again, you didn't get it. Now I'm leaving this place. Do you now have anything to tell me? If you don't have to tell me, I'm going to report this. And then I capture it in your management letter. Your responses are still not adequate. And because of that, it becomes an audit issue. And you are saying, because of that, the person has not been heard? I don't get it. It is simply that people don't understand the audit process. But if you understand an audit process, nobody involved in this did not meet the auditor. And so the report was laid here. So why are you in a hurry? It is the reason I am asking, it is the reason I'm calling on Speaker, it is the reason I'm calling on Speaker to refer this and the audit report to an ad hoc committee to review and come back to this House. And you will find out that you and I are protecting the civil and public servants who are there doing their own thing in our name. And when we come to tell you that this is what they are doing in your name, you now stand here and defend them and own it. I mean, I don't know why we are doing this to ourselves. I simply cannot tell why we are. Somebody left as a minister for trade. He did not authorize for the payment of any interest to any financial institution because he didn't do that. But in the give me system, it's been locked that some people should be paid interest in banks. You send auditors there, and the people say, look, the state doesn't owe us any interest payment. And now that person sits here, and you are defending that I didn't make any payment. It is precisely because
Adongo, your time is up. Yes, minority leadership. You are speaking for 15 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Finance Minister, in a statement titled "The Report of the Auditor-General on Arrears and Payable Asset End 2024," Mr. Speaker, indicated at paragraph 48, page 14 of his statement, quote, Mr. Speaker, this audit has exposed a rotten system designed to fleece the people of Ghana, end quote. Mr. Speaker, the entirety of the statement contradicts this particular paragraph of the statement. And for me, it appears that the minister was here purposed to create a headline rather than putting together an important national matter for Parliament to discuss. Mr. Speaker, I have listened to Honorable Suhini. I've also listened to my own colleague with whom I share esprit de corps, Honorable Kwame Agboja, governs. My own colleague, Kennedy Nyarko. We came into this chamber together, and not the least, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Adongo. Mr. Speaker, I've come to one single conclusion from all their submissions, that we must fix a system. But, Mr. Speaker, if a deputy minister mounts the podium in this chamber, here our podium is the dispatch box, a very important platform, and includes this in a statement. Mr. Speaker, obviously, nobody will take him serious. The conclusion will be that he's here on a partisan political agenda with no consequence but to please a certain gallery of vulnerable Ghanaians. And that we want to stop you in your tracks. Mr. Speaker, the report itself, of which he has graciously served me a copy. Mr. Speaker, this is what the report says on page numbered I, signed by the Auditor-General himself. Mr. Speaker, paragraph 3 and 4, I would quote. 3, it says, the audit resulted in savings of some 21 billion. In other words, what the state would have paid, but for this audit, there are some savings, which is good. And then, Mr. Speaker, it goes further to say some 115 million cedis would have to be justified. Mr. Speaker, the auditor makes an observation which I think that is critical for my respected friend Govins. We also noted instances of non-performance by contractors and unaccounted government stores. We have made recommendations to address the irregularities identified in the report. Mr. Speaker, that is what the Auditor-General is saying. Mr. Speaker, somewhere in 2014, I was privileged to have been part of those who were in this chamber. Kennedy and Japan, in a similar debate on an audit report, raised the issue of systems and policies, not NDC or MPP, and it became a new term that all of us across the aisle, now when we see one another, we say systems, and you respond policies. This is not about NDC or MPP. That was Kennedy right here in 2014. So when I listened to Abuja and listened to Suhini and again listened to my colleague here, I felt that indeed the minister had lost the plot. Look, Honorable Deputy Minister, we are just calm and watching you guys, not because we don't know. If you are talking about rot, and if you saying that a system has been designed, let me tell you, if we are talking about a system that has been designed to fleece the people, Mr. Speaker, you have a lot. Listen, I didn't apologize to Muntaka because I made an allegation against him. No, if you are interested in that, we'll go there. So please, we are talking about a serious matter. Honorable Minister for Health, you know how much I respect you. Please stay away from this matter. Or else you will hear what you don't want to hear. Please. I am saying that we know how even the current recruitment system. Say yes, please. Even the current recruitment system. Ghanaian youths are being ripped off by the very system because they have to pay and pay and pay. Mr. Speaker, must we label an individual as being corrupt because there is a system that is not functioning and is going against the citizens? 2, Mr. Speaker, we are here. I once served as a chair of the Rose Fund. I am happy to say that colleagues on both sides of the aisle were able to point how people present the same certificate and manipulate the system for the same payment. And there was a call on the agency to introduce an AI-powered software that would detect these things. Mr. Speaker, I hold a humble view that as political leaders, the time has come for us to sit around the table and fix the system. I will be the first to support that. But if you now want to reduce it to some partisan point scoring, I'm sorry, I won't support it. Because you see, you were in office some years back, like Honorable Kabiru referred to, when MPP assumed office in 2017, a similar audit was done, and you know the story. I won't repeat them. But you and I know that time and again, we all get confronted with system failures. Can we sit together and fix it? I will not put the blame on anybody, but I think that we need to fix the system. If you look at this audit,
The Auditor-General is referring to Article 1878. In fact, there's a legal issue, a constitutional issue here. If you read Article 1878, it provides, and quotes, Mr. Speaker, with your leave, paragraphs A of clause 7 of this article shall not preclude the President, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State, from requesting the Auditor-General in the public interest to audit at any particular time the account of any said body or organization as referred to in clause 2 of this article. So there is nothing wrong, listen, there is nothing wrong if the President requests a special audit. However, Mr. Speaker, where is the Council of State advice? Mr. Speaker, we have had the opportunity of seeing the Finance Minister's directive to the Auditor-General as contained in whatever directive he received from the President. Mr. Speaker, no reference was made to the Council of State. No reference was made to the Council of State. And I challenge government, if indeed Council of State advised in accordance with the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, fortunately we have a presiding officer now who believes in the text of the Constitution, who does not depart from the language of the Constitution. So where is the advice of the Council of State? So everything you've done here, Mr. Speaker, becomes odious. However, Mr. Speaker, on the basis of national interest, on the basis of prudence, we still hold a view that this must be worked upon. Mr. Speaker, we have a public accounts committee. I don't mind the referral going to the public account committee. Mr. Speaker, what are they afraid of? We need the public account committee to go into this matter. And Mr. Speaker, nobody should attempt to invite you to set up a certain ad hoc committee. We have our own regular committees that have been established, and there is no exceptional situation. The Constitution is clear that when the Auditor-General is done with his work, the referral will be made to the appropriate committee of Parliament, which is Public Account Committee. It is there. They should refer to it. All the agencies that they claim did anything wrong, Mr. Speaker, they are free to invite those agencies to answer. In any event, the good news is that all previous political appointees are still available. Mr. Speaker, they are available to answer for any matter that has been referred to in this report. Mr. Speaker, the majority leader should know that when his backbench does this, and he is also speaking, similar thing can be done. And if Mr. Speaker doesn't see, if the Mr. Speaker doesn't see, it's fine, we have seen. Mr. Speaker, all government appointees are in this country. Yes, they are here. Mr. Speaker, if there is any need to invite anybody, they know what to do. Follow the law. Mr. Speaker, they should follow the law. Mr. Speaker, this morning, when we came to Parliament, and the understanding was that we were going to start at 12, we were clear on our minds what we were going to do. We expected the Finance Minister to come here and brief the House on the cocoa matters. Mr. Speaker, today the Deputy Minister has been sent to come and brief this House on this, a thing that we already know. You have forgotten. We know, you've said it over and over again. This is not the first time. We know. You've been saying this over and over again. And like Honorable Nitiwu said,
because you are hot. Let me tell you, you promised to create jobs for the youth. They need their jobs. The cocoa money, you are supposed to pay the cocoa farmer. You have refused to pay the cocoa farmer. You've increased electricity tariffs to almost 30%. It is hitting households. You are supposed to create jobs. You are not doing so. Where is your 24-hour economy? Where is your one job, 3 shifts? Mr. Speaker, even you cannot take care of your backbench, your 189, you can't take care of them. Instead of designing policies to help your MPs who are struggling, you are not paying attention to that. Only a few of you are enjoying. Even Mr. Speaker sitting there, how are you resourcing his constituency so that he can create jobs? That should be your interest. Not to come here and then start your propaganda.
Honorable Minority Leader, take me out of your comments.
Mr. Speaker, yes. Mr. Speaker, but your constituency is one of the constituencies that need to be supported. Mr. Speaker, therefore the Deputy Minister of Finance must come here and do the proper thing. His own constituencies are cocoa farmers. Support them and stop the propaganda. Mr. Speaker, that said, I want to rest my case, and I hope that next time he will come here and do the needful. Thank you so much.
Honourable members, before giving the floor to the Majority Leader, let me acknowledge the high school led by Francis Afari Saki, headmaster. They are from Ejumako Enyan, SCM. They numbered 93. Honourable members, on your behalf, I welcome them to Parliament of Ghana and urge them to have a fruitful visit. You may resume your seats. It's now the turn of the Majority Leader and Leader of Government Business. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. So, Speaker, let me join colleagues to thank the Minister of Finance for making this statement and briefing the House on the outcome of the special audit that was conducted into arrears and payables. So, Speaker, it is part of our record that the Minister last year did indicate that he was holding on to paying some claims because he wanted to conduct a special forensic audit to validate the payments. Indeed, in this chamber, on several occasions, the Minority Leader had occasion to demand that contractors be paid, and the Finance Minister responded that he was holding on to the payment because he wanted to verify. So, Mr. Speaker, after the verification, the Minister also to this House to come and report to us the outcome of the verification. But more importantly, this is not a verification done by the Minister himself or the Ministry. It is an exercise undertaken by the Auditor-General, supported by consultants that they engaged. And we all know that by law, the Auditor-General can engage private consultants to assist in carrying out audit exercises. And Mr. Speaker, when the Auditor-General audits state institutions, agencies, public corporations, the normal thing to do is to present the audit to Parliament. The reason is that we as parliamentarians, we superintend over all these agencies. We budget for the agencies, and so we should be interested in knowing how they utilize their finances. And we represent the people whose lives can be made better if the funds are used judiciously. I hear the Minority Leader saying that special provision should be made for the Speaker so that the Speaker can manage his constituency better. What do you use to make the special provision? Resources. So if the Speaker authorizes resources to agencies and they are wasteful in the use of the resources, with what is the finance minister going to make special provision for every single member of parliament here to fix the roads in their constituencies, fix the electricity in their constituencies, fix the broken water systems in their constituencies, and deal with the broken schools in their constituencies? Resources. So we must be interested in how the resources are used. And when this government decides that we are going to pay special attention to this, it is not political witch hunting. And I regret that throughout this comment, I've heard colleagues try to create the impression that politicians are not responsible and that it is the technocrats, the bureaucrats. That's not true. Politicians are ultimately responsible. You are ultimately responsible. You are responsible for your ministry. You are responsible for your agency. If there is corruption, if there is waste, it is your responsibility to make sure that those who are engaged in that are held to account. Because we sit here as parliamentarians and pass the laws, we sit here and approve the budgets, and we are the ones that the Auditor-General reports to, so that when there is malfeasance, it is our responsibility to ensure that it is corrected, that people are punished. So, Mr. Speaker, this report that has been presented to us is a very serious indictment of events that occurred in the past 4 years. Very serious indictment. I was in this chamber when the Minister for Agriculture came here and told us that there was a dry spell in the north of Ghana and that we needed to buy food. They needed to buy food. The budget was humongous. The budget was humongous. And we gradually approved it. Gradually approved it. Because we were very sure that there was no way that these food items will arrive at a time when the communities will need it. So we approved the amount. Today we are told that some contractors who took the contracts for 35,000 metric tons, 35,000 metric tons, ended up supplying barely 10,000 metric tons. And they were paid. And they were paid. Mr. Speaker, the point I'm making is this, that we in this House cannot gloss over those matters. If there's an audit report that indicts anybody, without fear or favor, let's hold that person to account. This president, under John Dramani Mahama, is determined to root out corruption. Whether it is corruption by the public servants, by the bureaucrats, by the civil servants, or even by politicians, let us deal with it decisively. I agree with you that we have heard this so many times. This is why this should be the last time we are hearing it. And it will be the last time that we are hearing it, because we will set up a special committee. And that committee will look into everything that has been reported on by the Auditor-General. We will invite all the parties who are involved. We will verify everything that the Auditor-General has discovered. And we will make sure, this Parliament will make sure, that everybody who is indicted in this audit report is held accountable. That has to happen. I don't understand how you can be defensive of a report like this. Indeed, it should excite your curiosity. You should want to know more. You should want us to go into it and to establish indeed that this happened, and it happened in the Republic of Ghana, so that we can fix it and let this parliament go down in history as the parliament that stood firmly and fixed the rot in the system. We must encourage the Minister for Finance. We should not politic it. How can you get up and say that this report is being presented because we have a problem with cocoa pricing in the country? How could you ever say that? How could you ever say that? A report that was mentioned in 2025 by the Minister of Finance that he was undertaking, and the report is ready and he's presenting it, and you say that it is because of cocoa prices? And is the cocoa prices a problem with only Ghana? We asked you to go next door to Ivory Coast. We asked you to go next door to Ivory Coast so that you will find out if the cocoa crisis is only in Ghana. It's a global affair. Prices have slumped. And therefore, countries must adjust to their promises. Go all over the world and check the prices. This report could not have been presented to divert attention from cocoa farmers' issues. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, the incapacity of the economy to support cocoa farmers is because of the massive looting that occurred. Because of the massive looting that occurred. According to the auditor's report. Mr. Speaker, according to this report, billions of Ghana cedis cannot be accounted for. How much do we need to pay the cocoa farmers? How much do we need to pay the cocoa farmers? In the face of billions of Ghana cedis, that cannot be accounted for. Mr. Speaker, indeed, looking into how our monies were squandered is a responsibility that we owe to the cocoa farmer. Because that money came from the sweat of cocoa farmers. That money came from the sweat of cocoa farmers. And so when they sweat, and then we sell the cocoa, and we receive the proceeds, and we squander it in these wasteful manners, we do a great disservice to the cocoa farmers. And so anybody who pretends to be concerned about cocoa farmers must be concerned about how the money is used. How the money is used. So, Mr. Speaker, I will support the call on this Parliament to set up a special committee pursuant to Order 262 of our standing orders. Mr. Speaker, I can understand why you are protesting that a special committee should not be set up, that it should be referred to the Public Accounts Committee. Mr. Speaker, we will not accept that because your side chairs the Public Accounts Committee. We will not accept that. We will not accept that. It's a special audit. The normal audit reports come and they are referred to the Public Accounts Committee. And so when there's a special audit and a report presented to this House reserves the right to set up a special committee to look into it and to report back to us. How can we set up a committee? How can we refer this matter to a committee chaired by the NPP when everything that is spoken about here in this report occurred during the tenure of the NPP? How can we credibly refer this matter to a committee chaired by the MPP in this House? Mr. Speaker, it will not be credible. Mr. Speaker, we are looking into matters bordering on the activities of the Ministry of Finance under the MPP. And the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee was the Minister of State in charge of Ministry of Finance. She was the Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance.
And so many of these things occurred during her tenure as a minister. I'm not saying she's responsible, but it occurred during her tenure as a minister. How can you refer the investigation of such a matter to the same person? Mr. Speaker, this will not wash. The public will not even take us serious if they see the current chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee sitting to look into matters that she superintended over. So, Mr. Speaker, there is a very good case for setting up a special committee to look into this audit report and to probe further, invite the parties, verify the things that we see. And this parliament has the authority to recommend severe punishments. We can recommend prosecutions, and we can ask the Auditor-General to take certain actions against those who are found culpable. Mr. Speaker, unless we begin to take these kind of situations serious, we will drive our country down the ditch. You can work hard, but if you don't punish for wrongdoing, those who will take over from you will not feel a responsibility to also be accountable. When we take on what happened yesterday, we are guarding against it happening again today. Why? We are in government. We're in government. The resources of the state are in our hands now. We control the institutions. Why don't we just keep quiet and exploit the same loopholes and dysfunctional systems and also enrich ourselves? Why don't we do that? Why? Why don't we do that? So, Mr. Speaker, the reason why we will not do that is because we have a country to fix. If we don't take on those who conducted themselves so abysmally yesterday in the management of the public finances, we will lose the moral authority to take on those who are in charge today. And if those who are in charge today are holding wide open the books so that we can all learn the wrongs in the society,
Minority Leader, you have your right.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I'm not making further comment, but the Majority Leader has introduced a very strange matter that if I don't comment on, Mr. Speaker, a certain precedence will be introduced, and Mr. Speaker, that will not inure
Honorable Minority Leader, the chair is capable of dealing with the matter.
Mr. Speaker, I rest my case therefore.
Thank you. Honorable members, this is a statement made by the Deputy Finance Minister under Standing Order 91. Comments have been taken following the statement. Now, part of the comments makes reference to Order 262, requesting that we form special or ad hoc committee to look into the matter. It is important as a House to look at Standing Order 262. With your permission, I read. The House may, by motion, appoint a special or an ad hoc committee to A, investigate any matter of public importance, and B, consider any bill or a matter that is not within the jurisdiction of any of the standing or select committee. Now, this is not a motion, it is a comment, it is a statement by the minister with comment by members of the House. Others' comment was to the effect that the matter be referred to the Public Accounts Committee to investigate and report. There was also a comment to the effect that the Public Accounts Committee is chaired by the opposition whose tenure of office the incidents took place. Honourable members, we can look at Standing Order 2224, which indicates clearly that if the matter refers to the tenure of office of the chairperson of the committee, then the chairperson can recuse himself and allow other members of the committee to look into the matter and report to the House. Honourable members, on this note, I will refer the matter to, yes.
Mr. Speaker, I believe because I was timed out by the timekeepers, my last set of sentences related to a motion. After I concluded my comment, I followed with a motion because I know that 262 clearly says that we must come by motion. So I concluded by moving a motion. After my comment, I moved a motion that this House sets up a committee pursuant to 262 so that we will look at it. Mr. Speaker, because we were timed out, it definitely is not part of the records of the House because it was timed out. But consider that because it is not just a question of the chairperson recusing herself, but also, Mr. Speaker, the various years audits have been done already by the Public Accounts Committee. The audit report of 2021, 2022, 2023, all those reports have already gone to the Public Accounts Committee, and they have worked on them. So, when you have worked on a special area, and then this is a special one, because the special audit report, let's set up a special committee.
Honourable Member, you know Standing Order 101. A motion, there must be a notice of it. Clearly. Honourable members, to continue, Standing Order 2294, and I read, where a matter for consideration before the committee relates to the period of administration of the party of the chairperson of the committee, the ranking member of the committee shall be the chairperson for the consideration of that matter. That is what Order 2294 is saying. So accordingly, I'll refer the matter to the Public Accounts Committee to investigate and report to the House within 3 weeks. Honourable members, let me read a message from the Speaker. Goodwill message by Chairman of COSPA on the occasion of International Women's Day 2026 celebration, organized in collaboration with Elect Her under the theme, Give the Gain, African Women in Legislative Leadership.
So you have a majority leader in the concluding argument following a special audit by the Finance Ministry looking into some contracts that have been awarded, raising concerns about some fractions and other issues pertaining to some discrepancies with contracts awarded. The House debated the matter and has been subsequently sent to the Public Accounts Committee for further deliberations. We are still watching ChannelOne TV.